Did you miss me? All my dear friends? Goodness gracious. Good morning! Good morning, good morning, good morning. It has been a hot minute, hasn't it? Huh. Hello there. How are you all? How's everybody doing? Let's skip to this one. Oh, my sweet goodness. So, before we really get into this, I forgot that my PC is finishing a download real quick, but it's almost done. It's not like last time. Do y'all remember that? Where I was like, this'll take 3 minutes. Can y'all hear me? Am I translating? Am I visible? Good gracious. Okay, I'm seeing good stuff on Twitch. I'm giving affirmatives on Twitch. YouTube though looks suspicious. YouTube looks very suspicious. What's going on here, YouTube? Oh. Okay, YouTube's having connection issues. Just give it a minute. It'll be fine. Just give it a minute. YouTube's like a good, I don't even know how many minutes behind Twitch. That's okay. We'll manage. Yeah, it's buffering because so my PC is finishing a download right now. That's like 5 gigs. But it's 3 gigs in, and it did 3 gigs in about 2 minutes, so it's almost done. I'll be right back. Let me... I'll be right back. Just hold the fort. Okay, okay. We should start stabilizing. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we're stable. There we go. So much better. Thank you. Thank you, OBS. There we go. There we go. That's much better. We're no longer, doing, like, 5 seconds per, or, like, just a billion nonsense. Okay. We good? We better? Can everybody see and hear me? Chat, give me a sign. Mods, ease off the gas a little bit. I know people. It's just. It's okay. I got it. once we're going, I'll need you guys to take the wheel. But I got the wheel for the moment. Thank you. Okay, so yes, we have made contact. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, Jordan, all I'm gonna say is, if you see my Twitter, you'll know my opinions. But anyway, so a couple of quick things, because it's been a hot bit since we've played Total War, and it's been a hot bit since I streamed on YouTube. So for those who have been wondering where I've been, essentially, actually, okay, let's get the important stuff out of the way first. The important thing to get out of the way first is that, today is a stressful day for most Americans. Obviously, today is the election. However, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to do anything with it. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to speculate on it because it's the source of stress for a lot of people, and I don't want to do that here. So this is going to be a place where everyone can come, just hang out, and relax, and have fun, and laugh as we blow crap up as Arkhan the Black and all that jazz. So, if we could refrain from bringing up politics at all, in any way, shape, or form, in the chats, I would really, really appreciate it. Mods will basically just be deleting comments. Y'all don't need to worry about timing people out unless they're just super aggressive. But, like, if somebody posts, just delete the comment. It's fine. You don't need to worry about timing out. But, yeah. So, we have not played this campaign in a while. Obviously, I have been gone for a bit because I had to go do the Monstrous Arcanum series. And, it was... it was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work. So I think we can go ahead and turn all this music down. Yeah, here, I can go ahead and get rid of that. So, but it's done now, and, now that that's all out of the way, we can get back to streaming a bit while I work on some other stuff. I've got my Chaos Dwarf book over here, because I've started working on the Chaos Dwarf questions, and I'm of course trying to get Queek finished up at some point in the future. So look forward to that. But I've been doing pretty good about being on a writing binge, so to speak. So yeah. How are y'all? Screen's bugging out on my right. Yes. How's that? Better. Much better. How is everybody? How are you? I've missed you guys. I've been playing, I've also been playing Hades. I've been playing so much Hades. I actually beat it last night. I beat the main story, which, worry not. I will, yes, you can talk about Tomb King politics to your heart's content. Fantasy politics is totally fine. If you want to talk about your least favorite economic policies by Boris Todbringer, go for it. Just don't. That's fine. But or Tomb King politics about whether or not Nagash makes a better leader, etc., go for it. But in any event, yeah, so I've been really busy. I've been playing a lot of Hades on Twitch, which, as a note, today, after the live stream, I will be basically linking my... I made a new YouTube channel that is basically just Twitch VODs. So I already have put up the first stream, which was like 9 episodes of Hades that are all like 30 minutes long. So you can I'll have all that linked and posted everywhere. So you'll be able to go subscribe to that YouTube channel if you want to just watch me play video games that have nothing to do with Warhammer, and it's just me chilling out, having a good time. That game was a ton of fun. I'm not done playing it, but with everything going on today, and I haven't streamed on YouTube in a while, and I was like, you know what? I miss the YouTube guys. So we're gonna hop back on here, and we're almost done. I think we're pretty close to being done with this campaign. It's like we just need like a certain amount of buildings, and I need 5 units of hex rates for some reason. Why do I need 5 units of hex rates? Wait, what? What? When are the Chaos Dwarves? When they're done. I'm not going to give you a date, because if I give you a date, I might not meet that date, and then you'll be upset, and everybody loses. So, when they're done. I don't know. I think I'm probably going to release that series as the episodes... I don't know if I'm going to release it as the episodes finish or once the entire thing is done. I'll have to think on that. But, do dwarves have politics? Yeah, of course dwarves have politics. Dwarfs! This isn't Lord of the Rings. We don't have dwarves. We have dwarfs. We have FS! Oh, where's the game? That's a great question. There's the game. Oh, and I'm no longer playing Hades, so I'm going back over to this side. So, before we get rolling, let's say hello to everybody today, and then we can get going. So YouTube, I haven't seen y'all guys in a hot minute. Let's say hello to y'all first. So we've got in chat today. Hello. If you want to get helloed, make sure you say hi at this point. We've got Jeter Green, Servant of the Great Horn Rat, Tommy Bravo, James Radcliffe, Michael Abs, Living Legend, Chris Lofton, Frozen Soul 990, EA Diaz, William King, Dread Nautilus, James Radcliffe, I've already said that, Calamity B31, Kira Haas and Orc Boss, thanks for being here and on duty, my dudes. Archmage Eldrin, yep. Headbandor, Tyler Saldecki, Jordan Rudderham, welcome back from from your temporary abyss. Matthias Nielsen, Petit Pint, one of those. Vault Boy 1300. Ty Belane, hello. Boy of Soy, I've been called that many times. Christian Sokowicz. Lakazar Zinkov. Snotter, good to see you, my dude. APS, are Lizardmen cold-blooded? Yes, they indeed are. Sammy Tanner, hello. Sheer Lucky, thanks, man, I appreciate it. Ethan Boxman. Triple Herbals. Great Book of Grudges. I think that's... Oh, God. And then I get, like, down to where everyone's actually been commenting hellos. Sheer Lucky. I don't know if I already got you. Peanut Butter Special. Nice. Who has a greater hunger for meat? Minotaurs. I would say Minotaurs over Gorgers. Jocko Wondersmock. Eckhart Q, Doom Guy, Michael Maddox, G1 Soundwave, Viking Skog. Trying not to miss anybody. Sebsmad, hello. Jake Woo. Raid? No raid. Jose Lira? Jose Lira? One of those. Autorak 9663, World 777. Good to see you, my dude. Jordan, I will not. Denied. Motion denied. Awesome. And then over on Twitch, who all's turned up today? We've got Undertaker. Of course, the mods are on standby. Thank you, dudes, again. G. Russell. Hello, hello. We got Misha over there. Wonderful. Sabakuno 90. Day the Mighty. Lizardman 0704. Maxwell 4444. Gregory Chaucer. Grotz Crow, one of those. Mr. Piggy 2028. And then we will get started with our day. Grim Harbinger, hello, hello. Trouble 055, we're all waiting, dude. We're all waiting for the next DLC. We're all waiting. It'll be here. It'll be here before you know it. We're almost there. Zip 08. Jaka Diego. That one's tricky. Glow. I'm just gonna call you AOE. Hello, AOE. Beether. Big Aggie 72. Always good to see you, my dude. All right. Finally, let's get started. Are Skaven dumb as rocks? I mean, they have the most advanced technology, or they create the most advanced technology on a regular basis in Warhammer Fantasy, so I would say no. No, they are not stupid. They just have a very different way of thinking, so to speak. So, last time, we took over Nagashizzar with a agent. Braden Bell, good morning. And we conquered all of the Land of the Dead, with the exception of Estalia, which got taken briefly from us by a raiding invasion, which we pushed back, but need to take back that land. And then, I guess the Heart of the Jungle, I don't really count that as part of the desert. But we own the entirety of the desert, so all is well. Permanent stream until DLC announces? No, because no. Just no. I would like to be able to, you know, have a life. Let's upgrade Kimry. We're sending this guy to the Desolation of Nagash to conquer that. We're trying to keep, Krokgar from declaring war on us. Arkhan the Black is rebuilding his army. How much is this? 10. Okay. And this is the 5th stream of this particular campaign. So if you're sitting there going, "Ah, dang, I wish I had caught the rest of this," well, the good news is, it's up on the channel. I believe I even have a playlist, and if I don't, I'll double check after this. And if I don't have a playlist, then I will make them all into a playlist for your ease and convenience. Oh, that's right, we took Sartosa as well. With our... I forgot about this army. The All-Ushapti army. Oh, Lord. How's it going? CJ Ubusta, hello. Grimlock the Carnosaur, hello, hello. It's going, dude. It is going. I am doing okay. I must have, like, eaten something the other day that, when it passed through my body, did not... It was not a great experience. But I am... So, that seems to be hopefully over with, but I'm okay. Is Volton Sigmar reborn or not? Volton is a physical reincarnation of Sigmar. However, he does not. He is not a. He does not have Sigmar's spirit or will inside of him. I don't think this campaign's in a playlist. Oh, well, I will fix that after the stream. How about that? How about them apples? Wait, why don't I have the staff of... Oh, right, I have to get the Sphinx of Uksef. I forgot about that stupid garbage. Alright, just get rid of it. We'll get it again later. It's fine. You are going to go to Gorgazan. Because I'm happy to leave the lizardmen alone, as long as the lizardmen leave me alone. Who is the physically strongest or smartest race in Warhammer? Well, I would say the physically strongest race is the ogres. Who's the smartest? The Slann. Am I offering apples? Not that you'll enjoy. They are apples meant purely for mockery. Is Cetra's arrogance bigger than Goldtooth gluttony? I would say yes. Considering that Cetra seems to have, or Cetra has, an actual policy when going to war against other Tomb Kings, where the battle won't really begin until all of his titles have been read off. Yeah. I would say that he's pretty exceedingly arrogant. It's like, this is a matter of grave importance, but I need you to stroke my ego for a bit. Let's move! How did Sigmar and Sotek come to be? That is a really complicated story. The TLDR is essentially that when the twin-tailed comet passed across the heavens, something about it essentially resulted in Sigmar and Sotek manifesting on the planet. Now, I will say, I have a personal theory that's a complete crackpot tinfoil hat theory that Sigmar was inadvertently created by the Lizardmen because of the way the Sotek prophecy worked out. But you'll have to wait until that video comes out because that'll be coming out pretty soon. It's my favorite crackpot theory. And I'm looking forward to when I get to introduce it to you all. Shaggots? Well, I wouldn't count Shaggots as their own race. Shaggots are like the ultimate elite of the Dragon Ogre race, right? But like, yeah, Shaggots are really, really strong, but so are Ogre Tyrants, you know? I mean, at that point, it's more of a situation of, like, where do you draw the line? Here, have a tornado on me. Take it with my compliments. Let's get in there. Stay close to the Tomb King. Let's send the ghouls around the side. Send the scorpions into the middle of them. Let's start blessing our shooting attacks. Let's buff some damage. Let's cast the spell of You Suck at Fighting. I have a Scorpion on this side, don't I? Yes, I do. Fetch! Any units taking a particular beating? These guys are. Keep firing! Yeah, there is a mod list in the description for anyone that's like, what the hell does Lore Master use when he's playing? My mod list is very, very simple. I do not use complicated mods. Though, something that I know a lot of people will be really, really excited for. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to announce it yet, maybe just in a few days. But I have decided that we will be doing a system starting this month, November, where we will essentially have a mod week, maybe not a week, full week, but like a mod campaign, where essentially we'll do like community votes for what campaign or for what mods people would really like to see, and whichever one gets the most votes, we'll do that one and we'll just play an entire campaign on whatever that mod does. Because I know a lot of people want mod play. So I'm pretty sure we can squeeze that in the schedule. Yep, just... I'm a little worried about that. Here, just form up. See if we can't get these in range. Yeah, if y'all could hurry up and shatter, that would just be absolutely swell. Alright, gather up! I don't need to worry about healing. This was a settlement fight. Oh, lordy! What's my opinion on SFO? I mean, I don't mind it. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it changes the game too much. But you have to remember that I like to try and keep a grounded feeling for the game. So, for instance, I tend to avoid like mass overhaul mods because I do not want my campaigns. I don't want, like, if a new piece of content comes out, I don't want to have to like basically reboot my knowledge of the game. You know, like if I'm playing with SFO, well, if I turn off SFO for some reason, then the game's just going to be wildly different, and I don't want to do that like every single time. I'm just not interested. Plus, I'm not too bad about it, like on just like a regular basis. But if somebody basically like walks into a room, oh, you know what? I need Arkhan to deal with these wood elves. That's what he needs to do. But if someone essentially like walks into the room I'm in and is like, hey, I made a lore accurate mod. So like that's their like big pitch, is that my mod's purpose is to be lore accurate. I am like super judgy towards that content. Like I scrutinize it, and pretty much every mod that purports to be like lore accurate, in my experience, does not meet the bar. They tend to, like, usually they might start off kind of good, and then sooner or later they'll basically go flying off the deep end and start implementing like all sorts of like crazy bizarre units and all this other crazy bullshit that just wasn't a thing. Oh no, Mydros! I'm so sorry to hear that, man. I hope you're doing okay. Feel better, my dude. Please, please feel better. You do your best to stay safe out there, alright? I actually would not mind another ghoul unit in this army, but I guess that's not gonna happen. It takes 2 turns to get them faction-wide. It's dumb. Give me... poison spears wouldn't be bad. I'll take some poison spears. Alright, so we've gotten the magic armor. I need obsidian for that. I don't know where the hell I'm going to get obsidian from. Armor of Eternity, that's pretty good. We need to start getting all of our kings, like, just set up with goodies. Who's our strongest king? I think it's that guy, right? Well, he's probably going to be seeing the most action. Let's forge him. Let's get the Armor of Eternity, because it's got regen, which is just awesome. And then, can I make him like a higher tier weapon? Double Crescent of Neru. That's pretty good! Ah, the Destroyer of Eternities. I love it, even though it's like the hardest one to forge. Okay, so do that, do that. Oh, we need to get you a cool talisman. All right, so we'll think about that for next time. So he's gonna go to Phyrus. Arkhan the Black is gonna burn down Orion's camp. And then these guys are basically just holding Sartosa until we at least get a tier 3 garrison. And then maybe we can send the all Ushabti army to go start blowing crap up.
I shall see you.
Ah, the Hyles are at war with us? Bummer. Oh, that's right. We're at war with the Order Tide. I forgot about that. Is Joseph Bugman coming to the game soon? Not that I'm aware of. I haven't heard anything dwarf related. That's news to me. And the last defenders are fighting us. Great. Awesome. Stupid Order Tide. Jeter Green, I really appreciate it, my dude. Thank you. They're time consuming? Yes, they are. But, you know, I figured that most people are, like, strong-willed enough, or, like, I imagine most people could be like, I could use a pause button, you know? Okay, so Phyrus is under siege, so you're gonna go there. You know, I think we can go ahead and pull the Ushabti army out, because I've got to stop this guy from getting to Xandri. So let's put you just outside the gates of Sartosa. But let's be smart about it and put you in ambush stance. Give you the Glittering Scales, Ogre Blade. Causing... Oh yeah, this is the guy that has all the Sphinxes. I forgot about this dude. It's really funny. My dynasty reigns supreme. Hey, oh, where should I put the Herald of... Don't I have like a bow army somewhere? It's definitely not that one. It's not you. I will take a War Sphinx, thank you. Wait, you don't have like a bonus on chariots, do you? I don't think you do. Because your army is just kind of like all over the place. I think I don't remember what I was doing with this army. Or am I running you around on foot? Maybe that's what it is. What are you... Yeah, you're on foot. Okay, you're my foot lord. Now I remember. Okay. Because we do themed armies here. We do themed armies in this house.
Attend your king, slaves.
Aren't the Tomb Kings part of the Order side? No, Tomb Kings are neutral. Tomb Kings do not have an alliance to Order or Destruction. They just kind of do their own thing. And God help whoever gets in their way. That's because most of the Tomb Kings are just kind of crazy. Not gonna worry about Xandri just yet. Yeah, you hustle. We're saving up for those big pyramids. So we're not gonna spend any money because I want to get the super pyramids. Lord Inquisitor, thank you. Yeah, I hope everyone who checked out the Monstrous Arcanum series really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to make. It was super duper time consuming, but I'm pretty proud with how it turned out. Can orcs and goblins be affected by chaos? They can be mutated by it. Like, a greenskin could, like, get mutations, tentacles, two heads, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. But they won't, like, become a chaos worshiper. I was too lazy to think that one through. Alright, so let's finish Qatar. So let's get the Pyramid of King Far. Ah, King Far. King Far is easily one of the coolest Tomb Kings. He shows up in so many goofy stories. I don't know how else to describe him other than goofy, because he just shows up in really funny... I mean, he's a badass, but he has also shown up in a series of borderline comical stories. Come fight me, what else? Fight me, cowards! Ooh, nice. Yeah, let's do that one.
I deem it.
Not possible.
Nekara rises from the sands.
More canopic jars. You know what, let's do ceremonial bandages. Just get that out of the way. Okay. Oh, good, we're gonna make it in time. Get out of my lands! Nerd! Can undead skeletons be mutated with chaos? Anything can be mutated by chaos. Chaos is not limited to mutating purely flesh. It can mutate bone, it can mutate machines. Like, chaos does not give a damn what you're made out of. It will mutate you. Are there any red orcs and goblins in Warhammer? Not really. There is a tribe known as the, I believe they're called the Red Cloud Night Goblins, if I recall correctly. And they have kind of a gimmick, and their gimmick is that they literally use magic to turn their body, the wizards will use their bodies to turn themselves red, which is really funny. Like, they don't dye themselves, they literally, like, use magic, which is great. Man, sometimes I wish they had actually gotten Entombed Beneath the Sands to work as a mechanic. Like, it kind of works with the Ushabti, which Entombed Beneath the Sands was a Tomb King ability in tabletop that made it where you could put a Tomb King unit anywhere on the table, but they were underground, and then you would basically tell them to come up, and then they would scatter a bit because, you know, they might like hit a bump or something on their way up. But it was always like a really cool thing of not really knowing, or of just allowing them units to like pop up in your back line and stuff, which I would hate fighting against, but man, it'd be fun to use. Let's get rid of those mortars. You know what? I should only need one to do that. Forward! Hey, Garneth, what's up? Oh, I've also got kind of a neat announcement, which some of you will find interesting. Many of you will probably be like, what is he talking about? But, for those aware of Warhammer Fantasy, or the Warhammer Fantasy MMO, Return of Reckoning, I did get, we're still working out, ironing out the details, but it is confirmed now that I am going to be interviewing the developers of that game, which will be fun. So I'll be having like a sit-down chat with them about their, about having, you know, creating the game and their experience making it and what the roadmap is for the future and all that other stuff. So that should be a lot of fun. Start the magic. I've got the magic in me. So far, so good. Man, I really would like to get, I think, like, just 1 or 2 units of chariots in this army. Just something to help out a little bit. Now, that spell casts really fast. Good job, good job. Actually, no, let's do that. Do that. Send the ghouls that way. Ah, Warhammer 591. Thank you, dude. I appreciate the kind words. Glad you enjoyed it. Get rid of that last big unit. I think we're golden. At the end of the Monsters Arcanum, you mentioned something about a sea giant. Could I further explain that? Oh yeah, so the sea giant, which I just briefly mentioned, because it is technically a creature, but there is a so let me talk about the deep ones a little bit. So the deep ones, which was the finale episode of the Monsters Arcanum, for those unaware, there's been kind of like a running, you could almost call it a running gag. But there is evidence in 8th edition, at the start of 8th edition, and at the end of 7th edition. So the end of 7th edition leading into 8th edition, which was the final edition of Warhammer Fantasy, there was significant evidence that the Games Workshop was wanting to push out a fish people race, which there's a lot of history to the fish people. If you go back, really far back, in Warhammer Fantasy to, like, 1st edition through 3rd edition, there was essentially, there were, like, fish people in Warhammer, but they were, like, super simple. And they kind of got phased out. So in later editions, GW kept kind of like pushing and pushing and pushing to get more new races in the game to try and expand the setting. And the thing about the fish people was that the way Games Workshop liked to hint at them was that they basically scattered little tidbits all over the place. You know, like I actually did not include one of the most famous stories of the fish people, which is that in 7th edition, Lokir Felhart's lore, like Lokir Felhart's big moment in 7th edition was when he got the helm, the Kraken helm. And the way Felhart gets the Kraken helm is he literally goes down, to Chupyodal, and his wizards, the sorceresses, cast a spell on Felhart and his army that allowed them to, like, walk across the bottom of the ocean without problems. And so him and his entire army of Dark Elves invade the sunken city of Chupyodal, and they have this huge battle against the fish people. So there's, like, actually a giant battle involving the fish people, and they mentioned them having, like, the Krakens, so there were, like, giant squid monsters, there were giant manta ray monsters, and then, of course, you had all the actual fish people, and they had, like, a really big fight. And I didn't include that story, mainly because of the time crunch I was on. I wasn't really able to fit it in with the story I was telling. But it will definitely be a big part of when I get around to doing a Lokir Felhart video. But yeah, so like this is essentially the capital of the fish people. But of course, they show up in a lot of other books. Like in the High Elf books, it's mentioned that in the ruins of Yivris and the ruins of Tiranoc, there are like a bunch of underwater caves there are a bunch of caves that got knocked under the sea. And now they're supposedly inhabited by the fish people. And that Nagaroth has a bunch of these underground tunnels and roads that form what's known as the Underworld Sea. And the Underworld Sea also has the fish people race living in. So from what we can tell, the fish people race literally inhabit they inhabit the Great Ocean. So everything that's part of the Great Ocean has fish people involved. Psylockic Bear. I would actually double check his wiki because it is on his wiki. But at least they updated it. But it's in 7th edition. Lokir Felhart got a big expose involving his fish people battle in the 7th edition Dark Elves book. It was removed in 8th edition because 8th edition cut down on the lore to make the book smaller because they went hardback, and so they were more expensive to print and yada 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 business. But yeah, just thought y'all find that interesting. But yeah, I love the fish people. It is my ultimate dream to have seen them be playable. I would love to see Creative Assembly do with the fish people what they did with oh dude, this is gonna be so much fun. King Nagashizzar's army. I would love for Creative Assembly to do to the fish people what they did to the Vampire Coast in Norska. And like, no, the Naga are not fish people. So there is a Naga race, the Naga, aka the Snakemen of Koresh. They live on land. They're not an ocean race, and they're chaos worshippers. Whereas the fish people are kind of their own thing. The fish people are more like greenskins or ogres. They're a destruction race. So they are a race that tends to attack and take over other civilized places, though it is suggested they have their own ancient empire, of course. But the fish people do not, they're not worshippers of chaos, unlike the Snakemen of Koresh, who are worshippers of chaos. And the Snakemen of Koresh, Silicosai Bear, or Silicosai Bear? Silicosai Bear. Aren't Khorne and Cain the same gods? No. That's a heavily, contested topic among like academics within the world of Warhammer. But they are not the same god. They're very different. They're not, well, they're not super different, but they're different enough. Alright, are y'all ready for this army to just get absolutely annihilated by just statues for days? You know, I think I actually want my statues to fight as more of a core. That way I can get the buffs on them easier. Unleash my titans! Was I smart enough to put any of you guys on, like, mounts? No. No. I'm smart. Not the giants. Giants are gonna be their own thing. Archers are gonna be their own thing. Kill them. Kill them all. Mow down that general. How do I want the fish people? Oh, dude, I don't know. I like designing the fish people. There are so many questions you'd have to answer. Like, just thinking off the top of my head. Like, you'd have to figure out, okay, do we have these guys, like, significantly based off the, like, the Aina Deepkin? Or do you try and, like, make them into their own thing? Do you make it so they're, like... Oh, I cast that spell in the wrong spot. That's okay, life goes on. Once I get my characters to them, they should be fine. Just gotta get my character bus over there. Ushapti, let's start mowing down guns, please. Yeah, we get this Necrotect in here for all the missile resistance, get the Wizard in here for defensives, and then these guys will start just absolutely lambasting. Lambasting? Lamblasting? One of those is a word. Okay, he's dead. Just one at a time, guys, one at a time. We'll take a lot of casualties, but that's okay. Good work, good work. Yes, my pretties. Oh no, they got that. It's just those big old things. What about the snakemen? There's not a ton to the snakemen. I might actually pump out a quick video about them just to like kind of get it out of the way. There's not a lot to them. The snakemen of Koresh, we know they exist. That's about it. They have a single magic item that was introduced in the actual Monstrous Arcanum. So the actual Monstrous Arcanum included an item from them, and talks about them a bit. There's not a lot to them though. We know that they're very, very ancient. We know that they are the primary power in the jungles, or the hinterlands of Koresh, the jungles of Koresh. They are the dominant power there, and it is said that essentially it is said that they are so powerful and nasty that they're the rulers of that land. They worship the dark gods, and they also it's a land that is so twisted and vile that men are basically like hunted and used like dogs. Oh, my Lich Priest died. Whoops. Yeah. In End, there are Tiger Beastmen. Because I kid you not, the Tiger Beastmen originate from a cave, a powerful cave that's like called like the Eye of the Tiger. Where's Koresh? It's basically southeastern Asia. Like way southeast. So east of End and south of Cathay. Oh, anyway, the Sea Giants. So the whole big thing about the Sea Giants at the end of the day is that the Sea Giants were their whole big thing, TLDR, is just that they are giants that died at sea and were resurrected by the power of the Maelstrom. So they're part of the they're undead and ish. And they're part of the Dreadfleet expansion. Because the Dreadfleet expansion, when you bought the game, it introduced 3 monsters that could be used in the game. And the monsters were the Leechworm, the Sea Giants, and the Bone Hydra. So there's kind of your fun fact. Ah! So expensive. So this guy needs a new Lich Priest. Ooh, nice. Wait, what? Oh, damn it. No, it was my Shabti wizard that died. Okay, that's fine. You're still the closest guy. Essentially. Maybe. Eventually. I really want Gorkazan for myself, but I want to finish off these nerds before I do anything. Let's make sure we close them in. We want it so our bubble is essentially preventing them from leaving. Because I got to make sure that Estalia's armies are smashed enough that he thinks twice before messing with me again. Well, if you've ever seen the Sea Giant model, it's like a giant ghost, essentially. It's like a really, really big ghost. It would be a vampire coast monster. But I don't really think the vampire coast needs Sea Giants. I think they're quite happy with what they have. I kind of would rather fight him on my terms rather than fight him on his terms. So let's fall back. Especially because I'm pretty sure Arkhan has Lightning Strike. And one of these armies I can just snipe out. What are world worms? I believe they're the creatures that... Is that what those were called? There are these giant worms found up in the Chaos Waste that Throth the Unclean managed to made the first Hell Pit Abomination out of. And they're generally the basic makeup material used for Hell Pit Abominations. And I believe those are the world worms. Can't remember if they're called world worms, though. Also, my friend, I have no idea what that says. Sorry, I am uncultured swine that can only read English. I'm so terribly sorry. Do skeleton horses ever get tired? No, they're skeletons. If you don't have muscle, you can't get tired. That's how that works. That's the benefit to being a spooky, scary boy. You just look at all those nerdy casuals who suffer through the downsides of having living flesh and are just like, ha, nerd. Were the Nehekaran gods of the... so, the Nehekaran gods were not created by the old ones. Yeah, sorry. Excuse Chloe. Something has caught her interest outside. But, essentially, the Nehekaran gods, from what we can tell, were... They are traditional Warhammer gods in that they are entities that represent elements of Nehekaran life, whether it's death or the sun or asps or like the various creatures that the Nehekarans believed in and started worshipping to the extent that they became pseudo-sentient. Like they were the first gods created by the worship and beliefs of humanity. That being said, they bear a lot of similarities to the old ones, and the likelihood of that is that the Nehekarans as a people probably have very vague memories of the old ones. And because of that, the way that they interpret the gods to function and their memories of the whole incident involving the demons of chaos cause their gods to be kind of a weird, almost twisted mirror of the old ones. Would love your impressions on the new Bugman model. I love it, dude. Bugmanson. I will say, my only problem with the new Bugman model is it's a gorgeous model. It's beautifully created, artfully done, looks amazing. My concern, or my sadness, I guess, is that it seems to be a Christmas exclusive. So it's a timed event model as opposed to just being a new model that happens to be released at this date, because that model is kick-ass, dude. Like it is a gorgeous, super badass model. And I just want Caradron Overlords to have Brewmaster Generals. Like, the Brewmaster General is such a cool idea, and I just want that to be, like, normal. Die, Fendel! Technically, without muscles, you just fall apart. Ah, but magic! Magic! Hugh, thanks for coming by, my dude. Have a good one. Are there insect people in Warhammer lore? There was an insectoid race, but they're very, very not developed. And basically, the only time we ever really saw them was that a singular one of them, which was basically like a giant bloated, horribly mutated ant queen, showed up in a Gotrek and Felix novel as the main villain. If you want to read about it, the book is called Orc Slayer. And it's very, very good. That's definitely probably the most... That's probably like the second most depressing book in the entirety of the series, though, so be aware of that. Are the Hell Pit Abominations the worst thing Mulder can make? Yes. Loki, thanks for the tip, my dude. You do a great job explaining lore to us. What do we ask about? What do we know about Estalia? So, Estalia is kind of an interesting place. It suffers from a couple of design problems. The big ones are that essentially... oh gosh, all the widows are almost off the map. Start healing, start healing, start healing. the issue with Estalia, from a lore perspective, like why we don't know a lot about them, is that Estalia is a really, really ancient kingdom of men. Like, not quite as old as Nehekara, but like the early Nehekarans and like the other forms of humanity that went north. Estalia was one of the places where humanity started to develop civilization extremely early. And the kingdoms of Estalia, because Estalia is a very, I wouldn't say it's a hostile region, but it's not the easiest environment to set up a lot of, like, good kingdoms. But they built up a lot of castles because the terrain, because of how, like, mountainous the area is, and it's not a wasteland, but it's a, I don't know what the right term is, but they don't have the best natural resources. So what they kind of focused around on is, they focused on building really amazingly powerful cities and castles in a select number of areas. And from there, they started like to, develop their own culture and do all this stuff, yada, yada, yada. The problem was Araby. So what happened to Estalia, and the reason you don't hear a lot about them, is their trajectory, where they were like becoming a superpower, like Tilia or well, granted, the Empire and Bretonnia are the superpowers of the human world. Estalia, the Border Princes, Kislev, and yeah, I do not want to fight Wood Elves if I can avoid it at all. No more forest. But essentially what happened to Estalia is, like I said, they were developing, kind of doing their own thing, and they were on their way to being a good, powerful entity in and of themselves. And then Jafar happened. So basically, down in Araby, Araby was mostly a land made up of desert nomads. So the way Araby is divided is that you have this really thin coastline where they develop a couple cities. So like Al-Haik, Kafir, Lashiq, the Sorcerer's Islands, and the Wizard Caliph. These are like the only real established places in Araby. Because Araby is a big, scary desert full of horrible and spooky monsters. So everybody lives on the coast. And a lot of the people of Araby either make their lives in one of these port cities, or they're essentially forced to go to... they're essentially forced to rely on piracy to survive. But what happened was that Araby was, as a country, was not really unified. They just kind of did their own thing. All of the different sultans and stuff, like, minded their own business. They fought amongst themselves, and they weren't really super involved in the politics of the wider world. But then Jafar came along. And Jafar, also known as the Sultan Jafar, was a super scary, very, 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 very powerful sorcerer, who not only had all of that going for him, but he was so ambitious and power hungry that Jafar was willing to bargain with pretty much anybody in order to achieve power. So instead of just having magic and just being a very, very skilled fighter, Jafar also had the Skaven and the demons of Zinch on his side. So Jafar had demons and the sneaky nastiness of the Skaven backing him up, and with those forces behind his own, he managed to essentially conquer all of Araby. And once he had united all of Araby under his power, Jafar turned his attention to the wider world and decided to try and conquer the world. And so Jafar led all of his legions straight across the ocean to Estalia. So Jafar goes to Estalia and he just wrecks shop. Jafar takes over the entire country. So Estalia just gets obliterated. They get absolutely torn apart, and it's not even a contest. Like, they just get smashed aside, as if they were nothing by this horrifying tide of Arabian legions. Because even without the Skaven and the demons, Jafar's armies were terrifying. And nobody wanted to fight him. Like, nobody wanted to. But when... the problem where Jafar screwed up is that Jafar was very cruel. And on top of being cruel, he was a little too obvious about his cruelty. So, Jafar, being a very cruel... like, he was very big into, like, slavery and all sorts of other nasty stuff. So Jafar kicks down Estalia's door, takes over Estalia, and in response, Bretonnia looks at everything going on over there, and they're like, hold up a second. First of all, this guy's getting really close to our territory, and he's probably about to attack us. And second of all this crap he's doing is not very chivalrous. Like, this is not chivalrous, bro. So the Bretonnians, the king calls for an infantry war. So the Bretonnian king at the time goes, okay, screw these guys. They're invading our lands. All these strange men from the south. They're bringing their weird beliefs and their weird, like, they're evil and they're enslaving people and they're doing all this horrible crap. So we're gonna kick their asses. And so they build up to go on this infantry crusade, and word gets to the Empire about how Estalia is getting just, like, bitch slapped. And the Empire this was during the time of the Three Emperors. So there was no emperor, and, if memory serves, there was no emperor, and it was just kind of a smorgasbord of power. And when word got to the Empire about what was going on, because Estalia was literally, like, begging for aid. Like, anybody, please, God, somebody help us. Yeah, sure, we'll take peace. I don't want to fight you. How can you see me? Can I win this outside the walls? I'd much rather lure him to the walls and then beat the tar out of him there. That's a very nasty army you have, sir. Where would I run to is the real question.
Return! Legions withdraw!
Okay, that's much better. When word got to the Empire, because there was no emperor at the time, like, there might have been an emperor. I'd have to double check exactly when the Crusades happened. I can't remember the exact date. But the Crusades go down, and in the midst of that madness, basically the Empire's like, yeah, no, not our problem. Sorry. Many of the knightly orders were like, yeah, no, this is screwed up. Like, we'll go fight. So all the knightly orders basically packed up and went to go fight in the war. And all the knightly orders, oh, yeah, let's add some Necropolis Knights to this army. That'll give me something a little faster to, like, run people down with. Maybe, like, 3? That'll work. And, yeah, they all went and fought in the war, and it was a big mess. But at the end of the day, the Knights of Bretonnia combined with the knightly orders of the Empire, combined forces. After some horrific battles, they defeated Jafar's advance force. Jafar pulled back to Araby. They eventually managed to beat him out of Estalia, and then they pushed their way to Araby, where the war continued until Jafar was eventually run down and slain. Is there a book about Jafar? No, sadly. Despite the fact it's easily one of the most important events in Warhammer Fantasy, the Crusades, the amount of lore about it is, like, virtually non-existent. Like, almost all of the lore about the Great Crusades is purely from the perspective of, like, characters that were running around doing other stuff. So, for instance, there is a like you can read about, like, if you read the Red Duke's book, the Red Duke was in the Great Crusades when he was alive. And the Red Duke had his whole run-in with Abarash during the Crusades. In Araby, actually, because Abarash was down there for some reason. Abarash probably got lured down by all the fighting. But, yeah, that did not go well for the Red Duke, unfortunately for him. Poor guy turned into a monster. Do y'all like my construct army? It's got so many beautiful things in it that are all terrifying. The Red Duke has his own book. You can buy, I think it's still on the Black Library website, it's like an ebook, but you can buy the Red Duke's book. The Red Duke's book is super good, but it is super sad. The Red Duke is probably the most heartbreaking vampire in Warhammer Fantasy. He did not want to be a vampire. He tried so hard not to be one. And his story also stands as a testament to why Abarash is just the worst. Like, a lot of people think Abarash is like this super awesome noble dude, and it's like, yeah, no, Abarash is kinda okay for a vampire, but he's still like a piece of garbage. Don't let the propaganda from Abarash fans convince you otherwise. Red Duke did nothing wrong. That is also not correct. The Red Duke did a lot of terrible shit once he came back as a vampire. But, you know, just because you get turned into a monster doesn't absolve you of your sins. It is on the Black Library. Awesome. Hooray! Oh, you know what? He doesn't have war machines, so just let him come to us. Let them come. Oh, that's a miss. Thought he was gonna hold still for me, and he didn't. Pew 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 pew. All right, let's get started. Send in the War Sphinxes! That's not what I wanted to do. You think those greatswords are having a bad day? That looks like an excellent place for some tomb swarms. Here are these knights. Get over here. I'm so glad they actually fixed the Stalkers. The Stalkers used to be like one of the worst units in the games, but now they're actually pretty good. What was that vampire who was good and was looking for someone to love? Vorag? No. Nashrag. Gashnag? One of those. The Border Prince. He's good-ish. I wouldn't describe him as like purely objectively good. He's still a vampire. And he's still like he is relatively noble. But Gashnag is, yeah, he's something. I mean, there's also Genevieve, who has a lot of lore problems with her story, but, you know, for the most part, it works out fine. God, I hate these stupid Greatsword Legions. They keep, like, randomly catching out one of my characters and then just insta-kill them. Because they're like little babies. Get chopping, lads. Chop, chop. Some problem with Tomb Kings. Not a lot of AP. I kind of wish they would give the regular Tomb Guard anti-infantry. Because in this game, generally the way they interpret anti-infantry is by giving the unit in question anti-infantry bonus to like represent that rule when it existed in tabletop. But the only, like, to my memory, the only unit that had Killing Blow in tabletop but does not essentially have Killing Blow in this game are regular Tomb Guard, which I find peculiar. Alright, let's chase down what we can. Yeah, just huge armies of, like, mass armor are just so nasty. Is Findle a lore character? He's probably mentioned in, like, a little off comment. He's not, like, an important character, though. You identify with Gashnag on a spiritual level. Gashnag's just a big mood. Are there Black Orc Shamans? No. Black Orcs cannot use magic. Yeah, I think Findle is one of the ruling council of Athel Lauren. Let me check. Let's see. What else? Where's my high court? Lord Findle. Lord Findle is the ruler of the Widrioth and the Pine Crags. He is a famously bloodthirsty Lord Findle and Lady Evelyn. They're famously bloodthirsty and really enjoy slaughtering people who come into their territory. Not the nicest individuals. But being the Lords of Widrioth, they get invaded by greenskins a lot, so, you know, can you blame them? Banner of the Hidden Dead. That's kind of neat. Man, we lost like everything in that attack. Good grief.
My dynasty reigns supreme. To battle. Stride to greatness. Tomb King of Mehetara.
God, if we could get one more level, we'd be in a really good spot.
Prepare the crypt.
Behind the walls!
Risen.
Hire more units! So nice that these characters are free. If one dies, you're just like, oh no! You're just like, oh no! Anyway. Just immediately rehire a new one. Oh, shush. Okay, you, I guess, are going to defend our northern coastline for now. So let's have you hold an Al-Haik. You're repairing your army. I don't know, even know what we're doing in Kimmery. Got an empty slot. Oh, yeah, I guess I could build a big boy. No, you don't. I don't want to deal with any invasions coming from this general direction. You are done. Thank you and goodbye. Who's my favorite Tomb King character? I mean, my favorite character is Cetra. But I am also particularly fond of Ramhotep the Visionary. Which Ramhotep the Visionary is essentially the Necrotech special character, and he is absolutely hilarious. His whole thing is that he just gets like super pissed off all the time. Because when he came back from the dead, he found out that like a ton of his stuff had gotten destroyed over the centuries or over the millennia, and he was super upset about it. What happened to the Chaos Dwarf Q&A series? It's coming. It'll get here when it gets here.
Attend your king, slaves.
Oh, jeez. There's like a massive army marching towards Nagashizzar. Well, there's no way in hell we're going to have time to develop the small city to deal with it, so let's have the king march to Nagashizzar to prepare there.
My will be done.
And Chloe is just in a barking mood today. Hey, change your ways. Thanks for the tip, my dude. Which vampire character do I think would be the most enlightened ruler? Which vampire character would, like, make the best king? Or, like... Ooh, man. That's a toughie, dude. Which vampire would make the best ruler? Probably... I don't think Manfred would make a very good ruler. I mean, if I had to pick which kingdom to live in, like, if I had to pick a vampire character who would be my boss, I would either pick, if it was technically allowed, I would pick Ulrika. Ulrika I would be willing to live under. Because she would at least treat you humanely. And I think would be reasonable. If I was not allowed to pick Ulrika, because that's kind of cheating, then I would probably go for Gashnag. The Black Prince. Gashnak the Black Prince, I think, would make a pretty solid king or lord, whatever. Because his whole thing is that he just, like, he actually protects his people and does his best to essentially treat them fairly. Like, he just expects them to live their lives normally, and he doesn't, like, run some giant world-conquering empire on the back line. I wouldn't say Vlad. Vlad was good at what he did, but what he did was not very nice. Alright, let's ride. What all do I still need? I still need, like, a bunch of hex rates. I still need the pyramids of Alcadazar and Amenemtup and Far. And then I need to own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dal Baraz, Karag Orud, Lamia, and Ryestra. Or some mix.
Submit to your king. Attend your king, slaves.
We're not going to worry about the Desolation of Nagash. It's definitely not going to make it. With that Crocsgore marching right down. Any sneak peeks into my upcoming lore videos? Not right now. Why didn't my boy Vlad get a zombie dragon line? Manfred wasn't the only one capable. Or did he? For whatever reason, Vlad just didn't seem to like mounts very much. There's not really an explanation behind it. I mean, we have seen Vlad ride horses. He rode a horse during the end times for a little bit. Not when, like, they never, like, updated his rules to give him a horse. He just shows up riding a horse during a particular segment. But whenever he's in battle, Vlad just prefers fighting on foot for some reason. There is, you have to remember that Games Workshop rarely gave, like, lore explanations behind why a character does something design-wise. Like, if you're sitting there like, oh, I wonder why this character, like, rides this kind of creature, or why this character only fights on foot. Generally, it's because that character was meant to fit, like, in a certain mold. So, like, when you're dealing with Vlad, the whole point of Vlad was that if you took Vlad in your army, you were supposed to take Isabella in your army. And the reason you took Vlad and Isabella was you put them together. So, like, they were designed, the two of them were designed to basically be plopped together in a unit. And then they have all these cool interactions. If you gave Vlad a mount, that would be a problematic design when considered alongside that. Does that make sense? You know, if you're sitting there trying to design Vlad von Karstein as this unit idea with Isabella, then you want them to be infantry characters. Because if they're both infantry characters, then they have the design ideology of you put them both on foot, you give them really, really powerful upgrades because they come on foot, and then you stick them in a unit of Graveguard. And they're, like, super strong and have really fun synergy. Because you have to remember, in tabletop, Games Workshop did not really give you options with characters. I mean, there were a couple characters that could, but most characters in Warhammer Fantasy, you did not, like, buy upgrades for them. If you were like, oh, I'm going to take Cetra the Imperishable. Well, here's Cetra. Cetra comes with these items. He's on the chariot, period, end of story. That's it. Like, You don't get anything more than that. You're gonna take that. You're gonna like it. Whereas that's not really the case for some other armies. Or so in Total War they introduced this idea of like characters having branching mounts, and that just wasn't a thing for a lot of characters. Some, but not a lot. I kind of just want to save up to upgrade, get that last pyramid I need. Because what? There's King Far. There's King Alcajazar, which is stupid. This one's dumb. This one's dumb. I will say, the pyramid of King Alcajazar, that is not lore accurate in the slightest. Alcajazar did not have a tomb. He did not have Nakara was gone by the time he died. What is a trump card? A trump card is like a gimmick or device or something along those lines that essentially means you always win in a scenario. Like, your trump card would be like, I do this thing and I win. It's like an ace in the hole, or having like it's kind of like you're playing Exodia. It's your moment that allows you to be on top.
Submit to your king.
Maybe we should put a new king in charge down here. This guy is very okay, but we could get like a way stronger king. Yeah, let's do that. Because I can do the great incantation of Toth, and that'll let us get a really nice king to help defend this area, because this area is about to have a bad time.
They need to prove themselves.
So who do we got? We've got a trustworthy king. Oh, that's cool. +5 diplomacy with all factions. It's kind of a neat gimmick. 2 scorpions. Or we could get Wakoff. What's Wakoff's deal? Oh, he's the shooty lord. Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Nakara rises from the sands.
Oh, my sweet mother of skills. Yeah, we'll do a soft. I'm gonna go ambush. Let's see. He's also got big magic stuff. Maybe get like a new Shabti? Or a Hyro Titan? We might go chariots with him as well. Go ahead and grab a casket. We can get you a Lich Priest of Nehekara for the range buffs. Tomb Prince probably would not be bad. Ooh, Infantry Master could be fun.
My father demands it.
I feel like the Tomb Princes, I feel, give me a really hard vibe of being that kid that's like, well, my dad works at Nintendo and he says like this. I don't know. It's just the vibe they give me sometimes. Trustworthy could actually be pretty good at this point.
I ignore the
Getting a free +5 diplomacy is not bad. I don't want to go to war with the Greenskins, but I really want Galbraith for myself.
attend your king, slaves. Tomb king of Nehekara.
Maybe King Rakash should be in charge of the city. Because he's kind of got the best army for it. Being as just like mass infantry.
Nehekara rises from the sands.
Yeah, let's send Rakash up here. Because I think with Rakash behind the walls, we're like golden. I don't think they'd be able to dislodge him. I love that. I love Over My Dead Body. That's a great one. I need more armor. Give me armor! We need talismans. Ooh, there we go. Collar of Shakara. Not to be confused with Shakira. Very different entities. Both inspiring, but for different reasons. Okay, I think we're done for the turn. Yeah, so we'll have King Thutep just hold the line until Rakash gets there. Said that Palooka hasn't been live for 2 weeks now. Well, I talked to him, Snatterino. I actually talked to Palooka 1 or 2 days ago. He will be live this week. So, which I'm greatly looking forward to because, you know, my 10-in-1 model is still being worked on. Stupid lizardmen.
Attend your king.
Rats. Lizard rats. How would I rank the human kingdoms in terms of power? I would probably say the Empire, Cathay, Bretonia, Kislev, Nippon, End, Tilia, the Border Princes, Estalia, Albion.
I have arrived. Mortal soul, legions arise.
Yes, legions arise indeed.
Attend your king, slaves.
Prepare to defend the walls! Those bastard lizards.
My master will return. On my will. Priest king.
Okay, we need to save up for that
My dynasty reigns.
thing. Okay, you can leave.
Sirs, attend.
You're in charge of Sartosa now. No, I don't count Norska as a human kingdom. I mean, if you want to put Norska on the list, put them below. I'd put them 4th, below Bretonia. Araby, Araby's. I'd probably put Araby between. I'd put Araby below Kislev. Save your money. Stop spending it. But I like spending money. Oh, we finished a tech upgrade. Oh, nice. We can get clothed in divine. Clothed in the divine. That's a... Oh, yes, these are... I love these. These are great. Alcazar, which is... Oh, yeah, he's Chariot Boy. Technically, Norsca is playable. You could run a Norscan army, but it, you know, that's a Warriors of Chaos army, just with the crappiest units. I do not consider Norsca a human kingdom. I consider it like I consider it basically like the front nation of Chaos. Who could beat Arkhan in a duel? From a lore standpoint, nobody, really. Like, in a pure one-on-one scenario, really nobody. Granted, I don't think GW did a very good job of showcasing that. And a lot of the times he showed up and, like, what he did and stuff. But, like, if you're not trying to be snarky about it and you're just like, okay, what really can this guy do? The real answer is that he's pretty scary, to be frank. Who the hell is this? Oh, Toralithus refugees. Okay. Sigmar? Well, Sigmar didn't beat him fair and square in a one-on-one. Sigmar was only able to defeat Arkhan after the Eye of Shirian was shattered by Grimgor Ironhide. Sigmar needed the greenskin assist. What about a Narian? Maybe? I don't know. Arkhan's power is so poorly defined that it's just kind of nuts. And it's... basically, the problem with Arkhan and kind of what happened to him that caused so many problems is that when Games Workshop designed Arkhan, they wanted him to be a character who was, like, kind of relatable. So they were like, oh, okay, well, let's, like, design him from a human starting point, and let's kind of, like, look at him through a human lens whenever we're dealing with him. Which didn't really work. Because you kind of got into these constant issues of they introduced you Arkhan, and you're like, oh, okay, so I kind of understand him in this human situation. And then he's simultaneously supposed to be, like, literally the strongest, scariest individual on the planet. Like, bar none. Arkhan is, like, he's the end. He's the bad guy. He is the ultimate evil come to pass. And I think for a lot of people, that's a hard pill to swallow. Because... I think a lot of people are too easily drawn into trying to look at Arkhan without realizing what he's supposed to be, as opposed to what Games Workshop kind of accidentally made him into, if that makes sense. It's like, yeah, no, if you just kind of like plucked out one of his books from a shelf and you read through his book, you'd be like, really? This is the guy who destroys the entire planet? And like... fights all these crazy powerful characters and somehow keeps coming out on top. Now, if you're someone that purely played tabletop, you would look at Arkhan's tabletop rules and be like, oh yeah, no, totally. like Arkhan is very, very scary in tabletop. But in the lore, they never really did a very good job of showing off how scary he's supposed to be. What about Lord Croc? Lord Croc, when he was alive, sure. Yeah, Lord Croc, when he was alive, could have absolutely annihilated Arkhan. As a relic priest, no. Lord Croc as a relic priest is powerful, certainly. But his power is very limited. And he does not have the ability to fix every problem. Well, in Age of Sigmar, they juiced Arkhan up so that he is what they wanted him to be. I think the original problem with Arkhan was that when Arkhan was originally introduced, Have a good day, Jeter Green. When Arkhan was originally introduced, the big issue with him was that they put him on a demonic steed. And basically the idea behind it is they wanted Arkhan to be a human who had gone bad, and because he was a human who had gone bad, the idea was to have him more as a like super general, like an entity that is very, very scary because he is like the ultimate unifier of chaos. It wasn't so much back then, it wasn't so much that he was unstoppable as it was that chaos in and of itself was unstoppable, and Arkhan was just the unifying force behind chaos. So it's like, oh, okay, this guy's a big deal, not because he's going to come out here and like solo everybody, but because he's able to unify the forces of chaos and get them on the same page. And when chaos is on the same page, they are undefeatable. But when we got to the end times, when they rewrote the Storm of Chaos and they started doing the end times, they kind of flipped the script on us, where they were like, well, no, we don't want Arkhan to be like the ultimate general, but he's ultimately still kind of human. We want him to be the big bad of like everything. Like, we want nations to crumble before him and for him to be able to duel the most powerful characters and be able to win. And to do that, they had to change how he works a bit. And when they changed how he works a bit, it had some growing pains. Probably the biggest of which was Dorgar. I think when Age of Sigmar Archaon came out, that was what Games Workshop was thinking of when they wrote the End Times. Which is that Dorgar went from being a demonic steed, demonic steeds are very scary, powerful creatures. Like, they're relatively equal to like a griffin in power level. Even though Total War Warhammer made it the size of a horse for some reason. Which they need to fix. Somebody's gotta fix that. But, kind of the big thing in my mind is I really want them to or they need to fix Dorgar in this game and make it appropriately sized. But in Age of Sigmar they fixed Archaon and they evolved Dorgar into like a giant 3-headed dragon. So thing. Like, it's still a demonic steed, but instead of it being a demonic steed in the shape of a horse, it's a demonic steed in the shape of, like, holy shit, we're all gonna die. Which I love. I like Dorgar in Age of Sigmar much more than Fantasy Dorgar. Fantasy Dorgar was the size of a horse, and because of that, he never got to do anything really cool. Because it seemed like every time he was about to do something cool, Games Workshop would be like, oh yeah, wait, no, we made him the size of... Or, he's not the size... He's bigger than a horse, but he's not, like, insanely bigger than a horse. What's the most expensive Warhammer-related item I own? That depends. When you ask about what item is the most expensive that I own, do you mean what I paid for it, or do you mean what it would be worth if I sold it?
I know your weakness.
Because the answer changes a lot depending on that question. Okay, we are definitely going to take that city, but only as the last thing. Let's also go ahead and hire a king down in, like, Kasabar, and his only job is going to just be the guy that holds on to the hex rates. We'll wait until this guy comes back, that way I'm not, like, wasting a good king on it. And it's like, you are in charge of hex rate duty. That is your purpose. Cue the scene from Rick and Morty where it's like, what is my function? You pass the butter. Oh my god. Anyway, More Tomb Guard, please. To keep those nasty, nasty lizardmen out. Oh, yeah. We can get a proclamation. Let's do that. Okay, we're almost done with all the pyramids. All the pyramids are done. I am building a Hexwraith army starting next turn. That'll take about 4 turns. And okay, so all that'll be left are to take Karag, Orud, and Galbarez. And then we're done with the short campaign. And then we can kind of fiddle around for a bit, but we're functionally done. Oh, that'll feel so good. You just hang out there. It's kind of annoying how few books of Nagash are like in the entirety of the Southlands. There's one book on this entire continent. Because you start with a book, because you're Arkhan the Black, and then the other one is like right next to you. And then the rest of them, you have to go like a minimum of like Skaven Blight. That's like the next closest. What character do I want to see return in Age of Sigmar? My number one pick to return in Age of Sigmar, I would say Tehinwan or Krokgar, one of those two. Hey, Colton Booten, what's up, dude? I bring gifts of old gold. Let's see. So, you're going to be busy for a few turns. Oh, yes! We can get the Sphinx of Uxkhaf, finally! What am I going to replace with the Sphinx of Uxkhaf? Ah, back. Oh, I guess a unit of Necropolis Knights. Oh no, I should have gotten rid of the Crypt Ghouls. Damn it. Get a Lich Priest. Oh my god, are you serious? Dude, Arkhan the Black's quest is just, it's starting to send me to another plane. Not in a good way. Okay, where's the nearest place I can just recruit these stupid things? Okay, Khemri. You know what? You go away. Khemri, get a Lich Priest for me. You. No. You. Thank you. Run this way. Do I think Queek Headtaker will ever come back in Age of Sigmar? No, I think Queek's done. I think Queek is officially retired. Long may he reign. As awesome of a character as he is, which he is an awesome character, I think that his storyline ended very good. Like that was a very nice like period for his tale with the end of Carrick 8 Peaks and all the other stuff. I don't think Queek needs to come back. Now, I do think the Skaven need more characters. Right now, the only playable characters for the Skaven are like Screech, Vermin King, and Thanquol, which are cool, but I think they could do a little. They really could use some more like regular characters. Why not bring him back as a Vermin Lord? Because he didn't really succeed to that level, in my opinion. Queek did okay. With the help of the Vermin Lords, he barely managed to win the war for Carrick 8 Peaks. but he didn't defeat Skarsnik, really. Like, they beat Skarsnik in a fight, but Skarsnik left of basically his own volition because he was depressed, and he got bribed. And then... yeah, he beat Belegar, but it was actually really Skarsnik who beat Belegar, because Skarsnik was the one who bribed the ogres to betray Belegar, which is the only reason Belegar lost, was that the ogres backstabbed him. So, Queek, I mean, Queek was cool, but the thing with Queek is that he's a very characterful. Like, he's got a lot of character, and he had a really cool storyline, and there was a lot of fun, interesting tidbits to him, but like ultimately he wasn't really that successful. I mean, you know, he failed in the siege of Karasakarak and he was brutally murdered by Thorgrim. He just, I feel like he's done. Like, I feel like there's nothing to gain from bringing back Queek Headtaker, and I could not see him being turned into a Vermin Lord, and it making sense for the way they played out his story. I think if Queek Headtaker had been the one to kill Thorgrim, oh, absolutely, make him a Vermin Lord, but he wasn't. Like, Queek ultimately didn't really accomplish anything by himself. He was kind of like a chaotic force that roamed around, just being a general nuisance, which I love about him. But yeah. I would much rather have new characters at this point. I think that none of the Skaven characters really need to come back. Screech is from the old world. Well, Screech is from the end times, and sort of. Screech Vermin King is like the big bad of the Vermin Lords. He's the strongest Vermin Lord, period, in the story. And being the strongest of the Vermin Lords, his big, he is a amalgamate, essentially. But Screech Vermin King was created by, when the Council of 13 successfully stopped Nagash from destroying the entire planet, essentially. The Great Horned Rat was like super pleased with them. And the way he rewarded them was that the Great Horned Rat basically scooped up that Council of 13, who made the only unanimous decision ever in the history of the Council of 13. And he basically like ripped out all of their souls and made a single body and combined all of their personas into a single entity, which is Screech Vermin King. So Screech Vermin King is basically the most competent Council of 13 that ever existed, that has also been ascended to demonhood, which is awesome. I love it. It's a great story. I don't know why I ran Arkhan so far over there. That being said, I think the thing for Age of Sigmar is that it's really in a place where, although I think it needs more characters, most of the characters should probably be new people, not old people. I am totally in favor of like cameo appearances from older characters. Like, I would love to see a mention of like what happened to Lord Skrulk, what happened to Ikit Claw. Like, what happened to what happened to Deathmaster Snitch? Like, maybe they did turn into Vermin Lords. But I wouldn't make them playable characters. I would just make them have, like, cameo appearances and, like, a little story or a little piece of text. I think if you go too far with trying... Like, they're already bringing back Warhammer Fantasy, right? I don't really see the point in also bringing back every single character in Age of Sigmar. A lot of the characters, like, they're fine being just in fantasy, and like if you want to have it like a cameo appearance, like Skarsnik having turned into a moon, yeah, that's cool. Or not a moon, but a satellite around Debad Moon. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. I love that. But yeah, hopefully that I sort of just like ranted myself into a circle, but hopefully that made sense. You need a bigger sword. Sword. We can do double crescent or morning fire. Well, you're mostly fighting, like, nasty, heavily armored humans, so let's go with morning fire. Didn't Tazarkan get messed up? I mean, Tazarkan got absolutely obliterated by Tyrion. But, I mean, Tazarkan's a demon, though, so he shouldn't be... That should not have perma-killed him. Now, he might be permanently dead, because Games Workshop just doesn't have a use for him anymore. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. What are Queek's trophies, and do they really talk to him? Yes, they really talk to him. Queek's trophy... Oh, dang it. I'm an idiot. That's okay. Queek's trophies are functionally sentient. But the big thing about them is, what are they? Queek's trophies are basically... Well, they're trophies. Like, they're all various bits and pieces of different individuals who Queek has fought over the years. And generally they are people who impressed him in some way where he thought, oh yeah, like this person was a worthy combatant. And if Queek considers you a worthy opponent, basically what he'll do is he'll decapitate you and put your head on his trophy rack. But Queek has a ton of trophies. Whenever you see his model, like his model in Total War or in Warhammer Fantasy, generally his tabletop model is represented with him having his like favorites, which his favorites are the Skaven Warlord Ikit Slash, the Dwarf Lord, I think his name's like Krug Ironbeard, and then the hands of a Baron from the Empire, which those don't talk to him. The hands don't talk to him. Only the heads do. And he used to have an orc head that he really liked, but he lost it, which we will cover in his storyline. Yeah, Kiro, I talked about that earlier. Since I want Teheniwan to return in Age of Sigmar, what did he do at the end of Fantasy? We don't know. The last time we saw Teheniwan was when the Skaven managed to get past the Red Host of Sotek. They essentially defeated Teheniwan, but they didn't catch him. They just kind of like ran away from him. But they beat his army because the Vermin Lord Vermilanx, who is still around in Age of Sigmar, Vermilanx basically cast this like stupid OP spell that like melted the jungle, like literally caused all of the jungle vegetation to just like turn into sludge. And because of that he was kind of like, oh well, crap, all right, I guess we're done here. And that's the last time we saw him, which was a bummer. That book, oh my god, that book. The Thanquil book was probably the worst one in the entirety of the End Times when it came to introducing storylines and not... Oh my god, I'm an idiot. And not finishing them. I am very tempted to save Scum. Like, I came out of my fortress because I'm like, I guess I can ambush, and then this guy just moves like 1,000,000 miles. Can I win this? There's 2 of them. I mean, this is my most powerful army as far as like characters go. But that's just a shitload of shooting, dude. Dude, Joseph, I haven't seen you in forever, dude. How you been? We'll try. We'll try. I can always save Scum if I need to. Do the heads actually talk? Yeah, they do. Well, they talk to Queek. They don't talk to anybody else. But the thing is that the heads know things that they shouldn't. Like they possess the ability to relay information that there would be no way for Queek to know. So there is significant evidence that somehow, rather inexplicably, to be honest, Queek's heads do actually, like, possess, not only have the knowledge that they had in life, but they also possess, like, they also can, like, observe things away from Queek. So, like, there have been times where, like, Queek will leave his heads in a room. Like, he'll just put his heads in a room, just sitting there, and he'll leave. And then, like, some, like, an Skaven assassin or some individual will, like, try and enter his room and be all sneaky about it. And then when Queek comes back, he, like, knows exactly what they did. Which is literally impossible. But it's because the heads told him what they did. So, like, the heads are functionally alive. In just an absolutely terrifying way. I am superior at super long range, but... Okay, there's no way... I think what we're gonna do is we are going to make just a really wide line to counter his wide line. But to do this good, we're gonna need to fall back so that I can take his mortars to task. Send the scorpions a little further away so they're not just directly in the marching path. We're gonna change all like that. I've been trying to play a hard game with Lord Skrulk. It's really hard. Any advice? You're playing campaign? Yeah, use plagues. Like the plague rite, you should be spamming that stuff. The plague rite is so stupidly overpowered and just unbalanced in Total War that it's comical how like not balanced it is. So just spam that stuff, because the thing about Skrulk you have to remember that's unique about his campaign is Skrulk is the only Skaven campaign where the plague hurts your enemy but it helps you. So if your army gets, like, you want your settlements and you want your armies to get infected. So, like, whenever you plague bomb an enemy, always plague bomb a group, like, right next to you. Like, a city right next to you. Not someone, like, super far away. Because you want it to come back towards you. Because if your army gets it, you get a bunch of buffs. And if your settlement gets it, you also get some buffs. What's Queek's opinion on other Skaven? Queek hates other Skaven so much. Like, Queek hates Ikit Claw. He hates Thankwol. He hates Skrulk. Like, Queek hates everybody. He doesn't like other Skaven. Just, like, as a matter of principle. And it's because Queek just doesn't trust anybody. Which he is wise to. You know, it's not like any of them want to really be friends with Queek. Most Skaven view Queek as just completely insane. Which they're not entirely wrong. And because they're like, basically they just look at him, they're like, this dude's nuts. Is Orient's camp in the lore? Not to my knowledge. Okay, if I can, we might be able to get these tomb scorpions around the back so that we can get them on the, these things. Mortars. There's like so much shooting heading our way. But if we could get the mortars offline, just so I don't have to worry about that, that'd be kind of nice. Okay, let's bring these halberds over here. If we can get rid of the characters, that would also be quite a nice early grab. Okay, I only need one there. The other one can deal with these Empire Knights. I don't think Empire Knights are going to do particularly well in that. Let's pull our archers back a hot bit. And then we want to try and use our legions ability to really go to town on some of these other groups. They're great swords, though. That's not going to go well for him. Okay, let's focus our catapults. I'm kind of like these big blobs. I don't need you there. I'm gonna need to summon as many of those tornadoes as I can. It's just a lot of enemy infantry to get through. Okay, the good news is all their generals are going down. Okay, I need my general fighting with troops, not just out in the middle of the boonies. Let's see if we can bust him out here. Archers! Oh god, of course he's got burning head like an asshole. Let's get our king out of there. Did y'all seriously miss that? Jesus. Somebody kill him. Send you into here. Okay, he's dead. Just doing what we can at this point. That's a really expensive spell. I'm kind of trying to save for damage spells where I can. Don't see this ending well. Where's my scorpion? Oh, there he is. Way out there. That'll be a good one. More tornadoes. That was a good push. With me! Keep you guys in good shape. Although that thing's still firing. Okay, that guy's shattered, so that's good news at least. Oh, there's still... Oh, no, you come over here. I need you. Oh, there's so much shooting.
Arkhan worships me. My will be done.
There wasn't like a billion archers. I would feel a lot better about this. They're just focusing the shit out of my priest. Good news is I'm pretty sure all these guys are immortal, so if the army dies, it's really not that big of a deal. If anything, it's a minor annoyance. I only needed Sartosa to take for wine. I just needed it for wine so I could get the Staff of Nagash. Now that I've unlocked that quest battle, I really no longer feel the urge to hold this city, because holding this city has been an absolute nightmare. It's so, like, far away from all of our other things. Just makes it a huge pain in the ass. It's just not worth the mess. It's like, since these two are on foot, they can really just fight till they die, but there's not a whole lot the AI can do about it. Let's do as much damage as we can. Is Queen Bess a good piece of artillery for the lore? Or what? No, yeah, Queen Bess is like terrifyingly powerful. Yeah, absolutely. It's not a cute weapon. It is a weapon designed to ruin your A1 day. Trying to stay away from all these frickin' archers. Yes, by all means, mortar. Continue to shoot me in all of your own... Ah, yes. Ah! Everyone's frenzied. Come in and fight me till the death. Cowards. It's funny. Yeah, dude, CJ Ubusta has been gifting subs on Twitch like it's going out of style. I love him for it. It's very nice of him. I didn't realize I had enemy agents in the mortar crews. Stop grumbling. Hey Sam, what's up? If I played the Southern Realms mod, I wouldn't be in this situation. If the Skaven had not gotten absolutely obliterated somehow, I would not be in this situation. I blame the Skaven for this. Ah, there's army losses. You just can't stop that much shooting. Like, if you're just vastly outnumbered by shooting, you just lose. Unless you have a way to deal with it, which I just didn't. They won't be able to take my city, though. At least not for a hot minute. Has the Empire tried to experiment with making their own gyrocopter? I don't think so. What does a level 1 sub give? Emotes. Remember to stretch and hydrate? You're not my mom. Thank you, Kiro. Ah! Fought the good fight. Yep, that's what it's all about, right? Oh. Did I play Warhammer Tabletop? I did. I played Warhammer Tabletop, and I play, oh, we lost that prince. That's a bummer. Yes. I played Warhammer Fantasy for many, many years. And I play Age of Sigmar now. And I really, really enjoy Age of Sigmar. It's not for everybody, but I like it quite a bit. Though the double turn system can go die in a fire. I do hope they fix that at some point, because I consider it a massive flaw that I hope they deal with. Yeah, you know what? They can have it. I'm not fighting for that city anymore. That city has been nothing but a pain in my butt. I just want to focus on taking Karag Orid and Galbaraz. So that will be your job. Oh, Vulture Mountain. You get so the double turn system in Age of Sigmar is that you roll for priority at the end of every turn. So at the end of a turn, so like both players have their phases, and the way the game works is that and it wouldn't be as bad if it was always random instead of the first turn being guaranteed by whoever has the least amount of drops. But basically the way it works is that in Age of Sigmar, at the end of both players' turn, or both players' rounds, I'll say round, that way it doesn't get confusing. So at the end of both players' rounds, or I guess technically you would say at the end of a round, and then the players would have turns. Let's go with that. That makes more sense. So at the end of the round, once both players have had their turns, you roll dice for priority, and it's literally just you both roll a d6. If you tie, then whoever went first wins priority. But the problem with the game, in my opinion, is that it can flip-flop. So like you could get a situation where you're like, oh, okay, so I get to I'm gonna march out and kill this dude. So if you say my opponent goes first, right? My opponent goes first. He does his thing. Then it's my round. I do my thing, and then at the end of the turn, we roll priority. If I win priority, I can then go first. So I can take 2 rounds back to back. So I can like move my entire army up into charge range, roll dice. I win priority. Okay, well, I'm gonna go first this time. So now I get to immediately move my army again and charge. And there's nothing my opponent can do about it. I really don't like that system. I think it eliminates a lot of the strategy in the game. Well, not to an extent. I mean, I understand, being that I've started playing... I started actually joining the pro circuit again. And then coronavirus happened. But the big thing for me is that... I just don't like that. I hate it. I think it's really dumb that the entire game could be decided by a single dice roll, and it removes a lot of the... It adds a level of randomness that's very unnecessary, in my opinion. I kind of want his mortar to shoot this unit, but he's definitely not going to shoot that unit. Move! Okay, we're just not going to worry about the mortar. Once you guys are in position... Forward! At least we have some Bushapti. Tyrion killed Tazarkan after he had ripped out of Malice's body. So Malice transformed into Zarkan, and he was basically dead by that point. What advice would I give to Stormblost? Thank you, first of all, for the nice words. I really appreciate it. Second of all, what advice would I give for Tomb Kings? So generally, the thing about Tomb Kings is that they are a race that your armies are free. So like if you're not don't do what I do and play thematically unless that's just like your thing. But because I make life a lot harder for myself than it needs to be. because I like my armies to like fit like a scheme, so to speak. But generally, the thing to do with Tomb Kings is that your troops are free, right? So you should build up just a massive amount of troops and just roam your armies around as giant death squads. At least until you get established enough where you have unlocked the ability to have like a lot of really high quality troops. But I would very much recommend focusing heavily on just like, as soon as the game starts, do what you can to have like 3 lords. And so you get Arkhan the Black with his army, that's really strong. And then you focus a considerable amount of effort on like your next Tomb King who has an army of like nothing but whatever you can put in there. And then you get another army full of guys of whatever you can, and so you just have these massive hordes that run around and like punch people to death. Was the Heldenhammer some kind of ship? Yeah, the Heldenhammer was the ship that was used by the guy who killed Count Nautilus in the Dreadfleet story. It was originally the private vessel of Volkmar, Grand Theogenes Volkmar the Grim, but it was stolen by a pirate who wanted to go kill Noctilus with it. And eventually he succeeded. Are we going to see another Monstrous Arcanum series in the future? Yes. Not anytime like crazy soon, because I don't want to oversaturate the channel with like I really enjoyed making the Monstrous Arcanum series. However, I want to be sure that I don't oversaturate the channel with roleplay focused lore videos. The general reason I decided to make the Monstrous Arcanum like a lore series or a roleplay type series as opposed to just flat lore was literally because the creatures that I was covering in the Monstrous Arcanum, 99% of them were, not 99, but a significant percent of them were basically units that, or creatures that had very, very little lore. Like, you maybe get 2 or 3 paragraphs and that's it, you're done. So I didn't want the videos to be like 5 minutes long because that's not good for ad revenue. And you know, I gotta eat. So I was like, how do I make this, how do I keep this relevant, keep it lore focused, and also like make it an entertaining listen that doesn't take 2 minutes. And generally, CF Bomber, I am good and safe. Thank you. My area is very chill. So what I decided to do for the Monstrous Arcanum to kind of expand things out was to put it into a roleplay scenario. So instead of just telling you, instead of just like making a video where I tell you, okay, so Dreadmaws are these big scary monsters that can burrow underneath the earth, and they have the ability to like eat their way, like they have the ability to swallow infantry-sized things whole, and they also have the ability to like attack larger creatures and like burrow inside them and eat them from the inside. Instead of just like saying that and being like, all right, that's it, that's all I got, I was like, okay, what if instead of that we do a situation of I make it into a story where we like really focus on it and make it as like creepy and horrific as possible to really lean into that Halloween themed. And I'm pretty peached with how it turned out, to be frank. I know some people didn't like it. There certainly were a handful of comments of people who just really didn't enjoy it. But, you know, my thing is that I never did or have intended that to become like the pure focus of the channel, but just something I want to do from time to time. Oh, that's awesome, Changer. Y'all stay safe while doing that. You know, that virus is bouncing back hard right now, so y'all be safe. Do I get paid for your Prime subs? Yes. Yes, if you're watching me on Twitch and you subscribe using a Prime sub, I get paid from that. Yep. That's what's so awesome about Prime subs. It's free for you. You get access to emotes and a lot of other cool stuff, but I get my little something something. I'm only a Twitch associate. I'm not a Twitch partner. Because to be a Twitch partner, I'd have to stop streaming on YouTube, which I have mixed feelings about that. What armies do I play on Age of Sigmar? I play Nighthaunts for competitive play, but I also play Seraphon. Any plans for releasing videos for AOS? Yes, I'm going to try and squeak something out this week before the event pre-order starts on Saturday. Thankfully, oh wait, I guess I don't need to rush it out this week because only pre-order starts Saturday. But I really want to get out some videos before Broken Realms to try and like get people caught up with Broken Realms so they can participate if they want to. Life is full of challenges, but you don't have to pad thai them alone. Call you pad thai if pad thai is good for pad thai pad thai. What? Bro, Hammond, are you okay? Are you having a stroke? Would like for you to drink coffee for the good times and vibes you give. Well, thank you, dude. I don't drink coffee, but I appreciate the message. I hope that I can be a place where y'all can chill and have good vibes and stuff. I know that I'm not as... I don't know what the word I would use for it is. But I slip up occasionally and things slip out of my mouth. But at the end of the day, I would like for everyone to be able to come here and feel confident about just being able to hang out and have a good time. And not feel like the world's going to blow up. I thought that was a bot. It is not a bot. I recognize that man's name. How long till Rakash is back? 1 turn? Okay. Okay, Arkhan is heading for Karag Orud. And you have arrived at Galbaraz, so just stealth over here. Tyrion's armor is pretty good. Tyrion's armor is an Arian's armor, and an Arian's armor is pretty hot. The dragon armor of an Arian is not to be sniffed at. Sotek, if I skip your ads, do you still get paid? No. Oh, wait. Like, skip as in you hit the skip button? Yeah, that's fine. I thought if you install an ad blocker, then no. which is why generally, like, if you're watching a creator on YouTube and you really, really like them and you want to support them, the best thing you can do is either, if you like, use YouTube Premium, like, I own YouTube Premium because I hate ads. But I also don't like using AdBlock because I want to support creators that I like watching. So, like, I use YouTube Premium, so I don't watch ads and they get paid. But not everyone can afford YouTube Premium or wants to afford YouTube Premium. That's totally fine. And for those people, like, if you're watching a YouTube channel and you're like, I really like this person, then you should probably consider, like, turning on ads and just, like, dealing with it or, you know, skipping them and whatever manually, because then they get paid that ad revenue. If you just have ad blocker on, they don't get squat. But you do you. I'm not gonna lecture you guys. Y'all are adults. You can make your own decisions. Ooh, magic resistance on my hex race? Yes, please. Dude, we're finally getting the staff of Nagash. We've been chasing this weapon down forever. We're only like what, like 100 and something turns into this campaign? For the sake of our debate, could the dragon armor stop Grimlock's bite? It could, but like it could. Do you catch my meaning? Like, could the Dragon Armor of Venarian stop Grimlock's jaws? Maybe. it probably, but I wouldn't. I don't think Tyrion would want to risk it. It would probably stop a couple crunches, but I think if Grimlock, like, full-on just got Tyrion's entire body in his jaws and was just doing this, something's gonna give, eventually. It would definitely protect him from, like, a first couple... It would definitely protect him from, like, swipes and, like, getting caught on teeth. But I think if Grimlock, like, full-on, like, nommed Tyrion, like that dude from the first Jurassic Park movie in the bathroom, then yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna help that much. Speech time!
So, the great Cetra sends his champion to thwart my course, does he? Perhaps he thinks me some princeling. To be swatted aside by such an inferior. Better you had come yourself, Cetra. The staff of Nagash will be mine, and your servant's head will be returned on a spike.
Thanks, Arkhan. We appreciate that motivational speech you made the time to give us today. Kill them all. No mercy, let the sands run red with their blood, yada yada yada, all that. When do I think Warhammer 3 will be released? Dude, I don't know. I'm gonna say this, but let me make it very clear. I don't mean this in a oh way. Like, it's just, I think making any predictions about things like game releases in our current day and age is a waste of breath, because we just don't know. We just don't know. We don't know how long, like, this virus is going to be dictating a lot of things in our lives. We don't know when it's going to end. Like, we don't know when a vaccine is going to come out, and if it does come, when that happens, hopefully just when, not if. But when that happens, how long is it going to take for it to, like, get where it needs to go and be spread around the world? And, like, I don't know how long it's going to take for normalcy to be achieved. So, and the only reason I bring that up is that when it comes to something like Warhammer 3, I think if you had asked me that last year, I would be able to be... I think I could grab a date pretty accurately out of a hat. But, like, for anything else, I don't know. I don't think there is a reasonable way to predict that right now. As much as that sucks. And it sucks! Boy, does it suck! But it's just the world we live in right now. So, I hope that we will have news about... I hope we will hear about Total War Warhammer 3 in 2021. I think there is a chance it might come out in fall of 2021, but I would not bet on it. I think it is within the realm of possibility that we will not see Total War Warhammer 2 or 3, sorry, until 2022. I'm hoping that's not the case, but you know, I think you kind of got to be ready for anything. I got Amazon Prime today, but I don't know how to claim my Prime sub. Well, Sam, I will say that generally the way that works is you need to connect your Twitch account to your Amazon Prime account. Which Amazon, Twitch is usually pretty good about having little like clickables up in like the top right area. There's like a little crown icon. There's a little crown icon in the top right, and if you click on that, it should start giving you prompts to kind of give you an idea of what you gotta do. Could Karl Franz defeat a rune caller? A rune caller? Like a rune lord? Yeah, pretty easily, I would say. No offense to the dwarves. These Skaven are tenacious, dude. They just keep coming back. They just haven't had enough. Is Kaldur really still alive in the Vortex? Technically, yes, but it's a little more complicated than that. Kaldur's essence is essentially suspended in the Vortex. Like, he is still alive in there. He is still alive. But it is not a good existence. He is basically stuck in a hell where he is forever having to cast, like, the most difficult spell ever created. And there is no escape. Because if he ever stops, for any reason, and, like, there's nothing holding up the Vortex, it will basically cause the Vortex to become undone, which means the end of the world. So, you know, no pressure and all that. This fight's annoying. There's just rats coming out from, like, every frickin' neighborhood. They just keep coming. That being said, I will say I would be super surprised if we don't at least get a Total War Warhammer 2, or sorry, 3, Total War Warhammer 3 announcement, or at least a, I think the big announcement video will come out in 2021, early 2021. Because, I mean, we've got to be close to an announcement at least. Now, how long is the dev cycle going to be? I don't know. Spider Patches, thanks so much for coming by, dude. I appreciate it. The Anvil of Doom should be 20 times better than what it currently is. It certainly should be a lot better than it currently is. I agree with that. Do you think they will give a Dwarves vs. Counts DLC with Priests of Valea? No. I think there is a decent chance we could see Vampire Counts and Dwarves get at least one DLC each. But not versus each other. I don't think we're ever going to see a Game 1 versus Game 1 DLC. Oh, an Etten Runecaller. Yeah, Karl Franz could totally defeat an Etten Runecaller. With Galmaraz? Yeah, dude. Galmaraz is the great equalizer. Galmaraz doesn't give a crap what you are. It's going to beat the shit out of you. We did it! We got the Staff of Nagash on turn 187. Good God. Dude, screw this item. The requirements for this item are total garbage. So, remember, any of you that are like, oh, I want to play an Arkhan the Black campaign, just remember, do not get the Sphinx of Uxef until the prompt shows up for that quest. Because that added so many more turns. Don't do that. Don't make the mistake I did. Learn from my mistakes. Alright, you're from his army. Where am I going to rebuild him? Well, he was basically just like Tomb Guard on steroids, right? I guess we could resurrect him maybe in Kimmery? Because I'm going to probably need some extra reinforcements. Yeah, that works. I can get a unit of bow shop tea. That'd be kind of neat. Maybe get like a little bit more of an accented line of... Oh, right, you had catapults. That was your kind of thing. Well, you can still have like one. I think two might be overkill. Oop. Hyro Titan could be good. Just give us a big terror causer. Give me some Necropolis Knights. And then 2 archers. Looks good to me. Oh, well, I gotta fit it. I gotta slot in a wizard. That's not a big deal. Yeah, I don't know why Sudenberg does not have wine in Mortal Empires. I need to message a buddy at CA about that. Be like, please fix this, because the fact that like the closest wine to Sartosa is just garbage. I mean, Sartosa's not really that far away, but I also think that there should just be wine in Sudenberg. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. Oh, we need to put that really crappy king here. And we're just going to give him all the Hex Race. So I just have that requirement dealt with. Alright, all that stands between us and victory is this settlement. Is it Ikit level of annoying? I mean, Ikit's is pretty annoying, but... Yes. So I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just, yes. Let's go ahead and do Kassar. My dream DLC setup for Game 1 versus 2, well, that's... They're probably done with Game 2 DLCs. I think we're gonna get a Wood Elf DLC, and then I think we're gonna get a, Look at all those salamanders. What in the world is this nonsense? Do I fight Krokkar? No, I lure him deeper into the sandstorm. Come to me. Come to me, Krokkar! I think we're gonna get a Wood Elf DLC, and I think we're going to get a Beastman DLC, and then I think we're done. I think that's gonna be the end of Game 2. I think Game 2 is gonna be Wood Elf Lord Pack versus somebody, and then Beastman Lord Pack versus somebody, and yeah, that's all she wrote. And then we're off to Game 3. And I think there's going to be a pre-order DLC for Game 3 that has to do with Norska and the Warriors of Chaos. Mercenaries? Huh. Oh, did the Greenskins take care of Krokkar for me? Yeah, Wurzag! Dude, Wurzag being a bro, beating up the lizards? What a good boy. Now for me to betray him. By taking Galparaz. Wait, should I do that? How is everything else in place? Let's make sure everything else is in place. Have 5 Hex Race? Check. Own both of these? Check. Own all of these? Check. Yes, okay, cool. Activate order 66, except for Greenskins. Do it. Oh my god. So not only am I going to be at war with the Order Tide, I'm also going to be at war with the Destro Tide. So there, because it's the I'm going to be at I'm going to be at war with everybody. Fools, you can't stop me. The Great Boneyard. Makes your bones better. That's literally what this is. Dude, look how good this is. I've never seen this structure before. Look at this. 10% physical resistance for all skeleton units. For all skeleton infantry. Plus 10% physical resistance or missile resistance and plus 15 armor faction wide for strength rank 7 and above. That is hot.
For the arch necromancer.
I'll actually fight the lizards. Hey, Shamsef, thanks so much for using your Twitch Prime here. Looks like you figured it out. Can greenskins recruit Ettins? No. Ettins are not a greenskin affiliated race. They are a chaos race. So they're affiliated with like the Norskins and the Warriors of Chaos. Technically they are Norskins. Oh, lizard men. The great plan is about to be put on hiatus. I don't know why I still have enough ghouls in this army, but I do. I really wish they would... I feel like they need... I really wish they would expand the undead that Arkhan has access to just a bit. Like, if they could give him... If they could give him crypt horrors in addition to what he already has. And then maybe, like, a Mortis engine is like a really big thing. That's really hard to build. Like, I'd make that like a tier 5 structure. But if he could get like crypt horrors at tier 3, and then maybe like a single Mortis engine for his entire campaign, even if it was just like a single one, I think that would be such a nice addition. But at the very least, he should have a crypt horrors, in my opinion. Mortis engine might be too far, but I could definitely see the other things I said out loud. Better bats? Can you recruit zombies? No. You can get a lot of skeletons. Let's move! Dude, those ghouls are going to get absolutely obliterated on those walls. I'm totally okay with that, though. Arkhan gets out on SFO? Oh, I'm sure he does. I hate these stupid doors so much. Help the Necrosphinx, please. Idiots. Because the gate's, like, open for a split second. So he's able to, like, get inside, and then they're shut again, so I can't even, like, support him. Irritating. Destroy the gates, please! Whatever, just... I hate sieges! The system is so busted!
Son of Henry. Vengeance for Nagash.
It's a wonder sometimes they allow this to ship. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, Garanath. I'd much rather play Return of Reckoning if I have to do sieges. Much more entertaining. Somebody break it! Jesus Christ. Finally! Jesus, alright. Let's go! Everybody in! And you know it's bad when, like, the AI is accidentally exploiting bugs to, like, help itself. I remember hearing about a scarce character that's living legend. So Games Workshop used to have, well, they brought them back, but they're not quite the same as they used to be. But they used to have these publications called White Dwarf magazines. I actually have a few copies. Because, fun fact, but I've lost my mind, and I've slowly started to, like, build up a collection of white dwarfs, out of print white dwarfs, because I hate myself, and I think money is apparently stupid and don't want to own any. So, so these are White Dwarf magazines. So, like, I have this one that has the timeline of the end times in it. I've got this one that had... I forgot why I got this one. I don't remember why I got that one. This one had some old Tyranid stuff, but I got all these for Warhammer Fantasy reasons. And this one, you can't see the screen, but this one's one of the new ones. So this is a new one for an AOS I got for Age of Sigmar, and then these two are old. But in White Dwarf, they occasionally would have, like, exposés on different lore or tabletop blurbs. And one of the exposés they did back in the day was that they did an issue on Clan Moulder. So in Clan Moulder, Clan Moulder / Hell Pit got a feature in a White Dwarf magazine, and in that feature they covered a bunch of stuff that is technically lore accurate, but it never existed outside of that White Dwarf. And in that White Dwarf, they introduced a couple things, like the Rat Chimera, which I'm pretty sure is just what they ended up making into the Hell Pit Abomination. But they also introduced a new character called Gorich. And Gorich is that guy you mentioned. Gorich is he was a Norscan berserker whose brain was removed from his body by Throt the Unclean and put into the body of like a mechanical rat ogre thing. It's more like a robot than a real rat ogre. But yes, that is an actual character. Yay, we have obsidian now. Hooray. Yes. Okay, all we have to do is survive the turn. And it's over. We will have won. And I shall be unstoppable.
Perhaps an agent of Cetra.
Alright. I'll take more great bow shop duty, to be honest.
A worthy follower.
So essentially a Storm Fiend? No, it was more like, kinda. It was more like, it was more like the old Bone Ripper. So it was like a mechanical monster. Sam Chef, well, thanks again for using your Prime sub here, dude. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for coming by. Chips Ahoy, I don't want to talk about it. I just want Games Workshop to love me. Hooray! We did it. How long have we been streaming? What's our uptime? 3 hours. Good grief. Okay. Wow, that took a lot longer than I thought. We did it! We won! Hooray! Alright. We didn't finish it during October like I originally planned, but that's because I wanted to put out lore videos for you guys. So... Okay, cool event feed. That's all I have to say. Here, we'll look at the stats page. Whew. Croxagores or Shopti? On tabletop and in the lore, I prefer Croxagores. But in Total War, I prefer Ushopti because I don't like Total War Croxagores. I think they look dumb. Yeah, personally, I want Squeal Gnawtooth as a legendary hero for the Skaven. Chilia next? No promises. I don't know what we're going to do next. I guess we could do a mod. Excuse me. Yeah, I guess we could do a modded campaign. I'll have to figure out how we're going to do the vote for it. I guess we'll just put up like a page on the community tab. And narrow it down to probably like the most popular mods. So like there might be like a SFO mod, a Southern Realms mod, the Kislev mod. I've heard good things about the Kislev mod. Yeah. What runes does Gol Miraz have? Oh, dude, I'd have to I'd have to go like look that up and like do some research, because Games Workshop very conveniently never got that specific. No, I don't want to pick. I want the community to vote on what mods they want to see, because if it was purely like, Sodek, what do you want to do? My answer would be not mods. But people want to know my opinions on mods. So if I'm going to try out mods, I want to try out the mods that people are most interested in me playing. Hey, it's Italian Spartacus! Hey, baby. I haven't seen you in so long. I miss you. You never call! Oh my gosh, dudes. Oh, real quick. Before I was like, I guess I should start wrapping up, but before we rev the engines. Hold up. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Stay here. I got to show you something. Oh, I got hosted by Anticity an hour ago. And I don't have a stupid thing to inform me when people are hosting me. So like an asshole, I just didn't even notice. Thank you, Anticity. I hope you're still here. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day. I feel so bad. I'm a terrible person. Oh my god. Just work, please. I want to show y'all something so you can like move over there. Okay, so but I have not oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say. Check out the Discord, the YouTube community page, or my Twitter in just a few minutes. Because I'm going to post the links to my new YouTube channel, which is going live here in just a minute. And my new YouTube channel, which is, I need to change the title, but it's going to be called Game Master of Sotek. Really simple. But the Game Master of Sotek YouTube channel, which is not up yet, but it will be in just a few minutes, will be where I put Twitch VODs for non-Warhammer related games. So like if I'm live streaming on YouTube, it'll be here on YouTube. It'll be here on this channel. If I am live streaming only on Twitch, it'll be on the other channel. So if you don't like Twitch or you miss those streams and you're like, I want to watch it, that will be where you need to go. So I would really appreciate anyone and everyone that would check out that channel and subscribe to it. Obviously it's starting off from scratch and I'm going to be building up, but it's not Warhammer related. It's just me playing video games. So if you really like me, and you're like, for whatever weird reason, you're like, I love watching this guy, or you just want to be a part of what I'm doing on Twitch, or you just want to watch me play other video games and hear my thoughts on them and stuff, go check that out. So just have an eye on either the Discord, Twitter, or community page. I just finished a playthrough of Hades. Well, it's not finished, but I just beat the main story of Hades, and I'm starting to upload all of the videos from that onto that channel. So in any event, I hope you all have a lovely day. We're going to go ahead and call it. I will be back tonight on Twitch with more Hades, but I am done on YouTube today because my voice is starting to hurt, and I forgot that I have D&D later today. So I got to go get food and get ready and stuff like that. I really appreciate you all being here with me today. I'm glad we got Arkhan done and out of the way with. It was a lot of fun. The next time I come here on YouTube, it will be for a modded campaign. I promise. So, on the community tab on YouTube, I'm going to put up a poll of the most popular mods, and you'll all be able to go vote. And, yeah. So, thanks again for watching. I hope you all have an awesome day. I gotta go do things. So, take care of yourselves. I love you all very much. Be safe, be safe, be safe, be safe, be safe. Please be safe. Wash your hands, wear a mask, do what you gotta do. And I will see you guys next time.